Hello, hello. How are you today? It is me, Jennifer, CEO, president here at Platinum Skincare, and this is Dora.
Hi there.
She's our office manager extraordinaire. So, all right, so here we are for our next live. And so we have a couple of things we can show you today that maybe you know about, maybe you don't know about. So obviously we have our coats line, and we have this new one, the mineral stick. So we're thinking that this is awesome if you are on the go, you know, and you always have to reapply that sunscreen. So this is just so convenient, and it comes, well, I don't want to take that out, but it comes in this little stick. I will take it out. We'll just keep it.
There you go.
So it comes in this little stick, and it is like so smooth and easy to roll on. So you can just put this, you could put it, could you put it over makeup? I mean, you could.
I'm thinking like when you're at the beach and you've already had your sunscreen on for a few hours, and you don't have your sunglasses on and your nose, like it's a quick thing you can grab out of your tote bag and do your nose and under your, you know, by
do
your
it
cheeks.
again.
Yeah, your forehead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Touch
we can
up.
use this as your little touch-up. And then obviously, yeah, it's not going to be great over makeup. It's always best to wash your face and try it again, but you could if you had to, because it is pretty sheer.
Right.
It's sheer.
But
I
if you're
think
at
you
the
could put it
beach and
over.
you're swimming or at the pool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, so that's number one. Number two is our new foaming cleanser. So this is the first one we have out. Oh, I can't even really see here. This is our new AB foaming cleanser. So, you know, for those of you that are wondering, like, foaming cleanser, isn't that just a watered down cleanser, things like that? No, it's not. No. This still has the same high percentage of acid in here. The only thing that's really different with these foamers is, well, obviously there's a different ingredient that causes foam, but there's no thickener. So it's like really, really super liquidy. So that's really good for acids, and this is just amazing. I've been using this for a couple of months now. I absolutely love it. I like it way better than the gel.
Awesome.
And it will last a very, very long time, because this is bigger. I don't know, do we have?
Yeah, that one's
well, this is the box.
7
So the
ounce
box of the other one is
versus-
actually a taller box.
Yeah, 7 ounce versus 6 ounce.
7 ounces versus 6 ounces, for sure. But we did a little test yesterday, and we got 330 pumps out of here.
Yeah.
This lasts way, way longer than the gel cleansers. So you're gonna love this. This is the first one that's out. Next week,
Lactic.
ta-da! Anti-aging lactic
We're
cleanser
so
will be
close,
back.
ladies and gentlemen. We're so close.
So close. This is the first of 3. And then, so next is the anti-aging. We'll let you know as soon as that one's up next week. And then the glycolic one, the revitalizing, that'll be a little while. We still have a good deal of the gel cleanser left, but that will be following. And then our 3-in-1, obviously with the scrubbing beads, that's gonna stay in its form, in its bottle.
Correct.
Moving forward.
But eventually all the other ones will move over to the foam.
Yes, and it's so fun. It's so smooth. It's so easy to just.
Oh, yeah.
It's just all sudsy all over and it does such a good job. This is amazing. I love it better. All right.
All right.
So now, obviously, you can go to peeluniversity.com at any time you wish and upload a question for the next live. So that's what we have here, and we're going to get started.
All right. Our first question comes from Lana. She is from Sarasota, Fitzpatrick of 2. She says, while using your products, is there any self-tanner I am able to use? What about the symptoms? Thank you.
Well, obviously, you can use any cleanser, and if you've cleanser, any
self-tanner.
You can use any self-tanner you want. Just, I would make sure I've got cleanser on the mind that, wash your face first. Yes. Use your retinoids, things like that to get all that dead skin off and you're nice and smooth. Then use your self-tanner so it's going to look nice and even and beautiful for, 4 or 5 days, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it starts to come off.
Right.
But, it'll look beautiful for the first few days. For sure.
Right. And if you're doing a series of peels, you'll just have to wait until your skin is done peeling.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a little bit of time to use that self-tanner before your next peel.
Yeah. And keep in mind, self-tanners, they can really dry your skin out. Mm-hmm. Really, really drying and dehydrating. Mm-hmm. Personally, I would, I like to use Flawless here. This has, it has a light tint to it, nothing like makeup, but this has a light tint to it. I use this, and then if I want any color, I just use a little bit of bronzer.
Yes.
Yeah. And as opposed to using a self-tanner, which can sometimes be orange and things like that. But, to each his own.
Can you hand me that pen over there?
Ah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Platinum
That
skincare
way-
pen.
That way I can keep track of where we are. Okay, next question. Diane from New Jersey, Fitzpatrick of 2. Want to add Jesner's to my next peel series in addition to my TCA 30. I did this the past fall/winter to treat dark spots on my hands and arms. I did 2 layers of TCA 30 each session last time. How many layers can I apply for this next series, and which acid should be applied first?
Okay, so hopefully you worked up to those 2 layers of TCA 30 because, safety first. We're
Yes.
always recommending 1 layer of TCA 30 for body use. And then, if you're going forward and you're comfortable with that, it doesn't
Yes.
affect your skin, you don't have really thin or crepey skin or anything, and you could apply a 2nd layer, then absolutely you could. Now, obviously, Jesner's really, really good for hyperpigmentation. So, and you always want to apply that first. So do a layer of Jesner first, and then go ahead and do a layer of TCA 30. I would not add another layer of TCA 30 at that point.
Yeah, see how
At least not this first time.
Yeah.
And if anything, next time do maybe 2 layers of Jesner and then, 1 of the TCA 30. And that's really, really advanced. I just want to stress that because a normal, Fitzpatrick 2. Fitzpatrick 2 is generally okay with TCA 30, but if you're, Fitzpatrick 4 and up, if you have olive skin tone and up, you don't even want to use a TCA 30. We want you down to a TCA 20 or a TCA 13, and we want you prepping prior to that with melanin inhibitors
Yes.
for at least 3 to 4 weeks, just so you know, that's not like normal. That's a really advanced question there.
All right. Tina has combination skin. She says, I have been using the acne set and it's helping. I have wrinkles on my forehead. Should I add another product for that?
For sure. Well, if you're using the acne set, obviously you've got Fusion A in there.
Yes.
And that's
that
really,
comes
really
with,
good.
What, the 15 or 25? I don't remember.
Either or. You can upgrade
you
to
can
the
choose.
0.25.
That's
right.
nice.
So this, yes, this is helping acne, but this is also helping hyperpigmentation. It's helping fine lines. So that's a good one. Then you can look at things like, the epidermal growth factor or the GHK copper. What else for anti-aging? Vitamin C. Vitamin C helps to stimulate collagen
absolutely.
too.
Yes.
Lots of things. And of course the peels.
What about the Snake? Snake for the
Snake
forehead
is another
lines.
good one.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Dr.
don't know if we
Platinum
have
potions.
any of the potions up here, but yes, that is a really good one. Snake and Synti C
Yes.
mixed together because that stimulates collagen, elastin in the skin. So those are all good ones to add on.
All right. Tina from San Diego, Fitzpatrick of 2. She says, hi, I use Retin-A nightly with no irritation. How can I still use peels for more product penetration and utilize the deeper peels for anti-aging?
So you're already using Retin-A, that's fine. And then you want to use peels, that's fine. So, your Retin-A, you're obviously prepping the skin, which is
Yes.
good. You need that. I would suggest obviously throwing in something like an acid cleanser,
For sure.
some antioxidants, SPF. Make sure you have a well-rounded regimen. And then, that's going to work perfectly with like a TCA 13% once a month. Start with about 2 layers. They work together. It's not a question if you can or can't do
Just
those.
stop that Retin-A 5 days before.
Yes, 5 to 6 days for sure
Yeah.
before, because I don't know what percentage that is. Do you think that they're asking anything else for other acids? I'm not quite 100% on that. How can I still use the I think that's it.
Yeah. I feel like she's saying, how can I use peels so the things she's using are penetrating? You know what I'm saying? Keeping that skin exfoliated. So
Okay.
she could do weekly, she could do monthly, just,
Yep. Just want to make sure I didn't misread that.
Get it. I gotcha. Okay, so Danielle has oily skin. She's from Pennsylvania. She says, I have been using the 4-piece acne kit, Fusion A Level 2, as I had been using tretinoin with the addition of Fade Bright and high-octane vitamin C. I can tell a huge difference in my acne and texture already. My face is usually oily, but it has been dry and flaking some since starting. I'm not sure if it may be too harsh for my skin, if I need to add more moisture, parentheses, I ordered emu oil, or if it's just part of the process and my skin will adjust.
Well, yeah, I would generally say your skin will adjust because when you start using an acid cleanser, which is the AB cleanser in that kit, think of the job of the acid is to dissolve the bonds and get some of that dead skin off. It just does it a little bit more subtly than a peel. So feeling dry the first couple weeks of using this is normal, expected, and means this is working. But, we don't want you excessively dry, so where you're talking about adding a couple drops of emu oil, that's very helpful. I would add that to the vitamin B and apply it. And then, Fusion A. Fusion A has 3 different retinoids than tretinoin does. So it is a different feel. It might respond differently to your skin.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not drying. It is. You might want to even cut back a day or so on this.
Correct.
Or you could, do a pump of this, do a pump of your vitamin B together, mix them together, then put it on. So you're kind of diluting it a little bit if you want to still use it every day. And, that'll work. But that dryness, especially if it's from the cleanser, that's going to go away in about 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, we have the next one. I believe it's just an initial.
Oh, it was Brooke.
Brooke. Okay, from North Carolina. She says, the entire world does not have Facebook, so I always chuckle when I see these lives. Everyone doesn't have Facebook, and it's short-sighted for you to just put these things on Facebook. I have entered several questions, none that have ever been answered. I'm looking forward to the next review for the last product I bought to give you guys a very nice and honest review about how. Wow,
I think
that's
it's
interesting.
responsible.
How,
I think
okay,
it's meant
how
to be
responsible I
responsible.
think you are with these products and your directions.
Right. Okay, so Brooke, I also emailed you directly because, we know that everybody doesn't have Facebook.
For sure.
But these are Facebook Lives, so Facebook is the one capturing the video and showing it to their audience. But we also tape this.
Yes.
And then we share it because these questions are originating at peeluniversity.com. So we are always posting these videos along with the exact time and your name that, so you can say like, Brooke, at 11 minutes and 13 seconds, we answered your question.
Yes.
So you'll be able to find that there. And those same, timestamps and that video is also just directly on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube. You don't have to have an account or anything to watch that video. Or you can go to, Peel University and find your answers there. So yes, we have answered you. I did look to see that we answered you both times that you asked your question. So go ahead and check those links out.
Maybe she just missed it. But yeah, YouTube. What is our channel? Just Platinum Skincare?
Yeah, Platinum Skincare. You just type YouTube Platinum Skincare and you'll see it. You'll see our logo on there. I think it's got like a pink background on
And lots
YouTube.
and lots of videos.
And lots and lots and lots and lots of videos. For like 150 plus videos on there.
So cool. Okay, Krystal is from New York. She says, I did a spot treatment with the Jesner's peel, and I did 2 layers, and I think I burned 3 of my acne marks. I have been placing aloe vera on them. Is there anything else I should put on my face? Learned my lesson and won't ever do a spot treatment after doing layers. Okay.
All right, so, number 1, always start with Jesner. Okay. So make your first layer Jesner.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming since you were layering, that was TCA. We don't know what percent TCA though. And was this is TCA 20, 30? What were you using prior? So hopefully it was either like a 7 or a 13. Because then you can absolutely add on an extra spot treatment if you want.
Right.
Do your Jesner, do say a layer of 13. And then after, 5 minutes in between, then as long as you're not frosted or any issues, then go ahead and dab it on. Use a Q-tip or use one of these little cotton tip picks.
Just make sure your Q-tip doesn't grab too much solution, because that's
you don't
what
want
I
it dripping.
do find when people use a Q-tip, like, they really saturate it and then they dip it in.
Oh yeah, I would rub it on the
on
the surface of the bottle.
Because
Make
TCA
sure it's not
does work
dripping.
by volume as well. So if you have a very saturated Q-tip, you could get more than what you want in that area.
Yeah, you get like 5 layers instead of one.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So, and as for any, like, let's say you're saying, oh, did I burn myself, or I don't know if your skin is already peeled. If it hasn't, you know, sometimes it can look darker or brown.
Yeah, right.
When it does come off, if it's darker brown, then it can be a little bit pink. And that's just because you did a deeper peel there. It takes a little bit longer for that tissue to regenerate.
Right.
If it's staying pink, 1% hydrocortisone is the treatment. Just dab it on there for about a week, and that should even out the pink coloring, and you'll be just fine.
I mean, they have to keep in mind when you do a peel, it is a controlled chemical burn. You know, so I mean,
We're taking skin off.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
We're purposely kind of damaging that layer
Yes.
to make it shed quicker than it normally would. So in a
Yes.
controlled environment.
Yes.
controlled manner.
Controlled burn, just like needling is a controlled
Yeah.
needling.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
Controlled lasers or burns too. It's all the same. We're forcing a
true.
tissue regeneration.
Okay, so Shirley is from Texas, Fitzpatrick of 3. She said, I had a TCA peel done about 6 months ago. I did 5 layers. Now I would like to do it again. Since it's been 6 months, can I go ahead and do 5 layers again?
Well, I would say no. You know, your skin is different every day, every
Yeah.
week, every
Yeah.
month. And if it's been 6 months, there's no way you're in the same position. You know, your prep might not have been the same. Maybe you were
sure.
not using Retin-A or retinol every single day up into that peel, and it reacted one way, and maybe now you are, and now it's going to be strong, way stronger
Right.
than you even anticipated. Always start with like 2 layers and work your way up from there. No more than 2 layers
Yeah,
with like
just
13.
Evaluate after those 5 minutes. You're going to look in the mirror and you're just going to look for frosting, redness, irritation, and then
Yep.
you make that determination. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be able to do 3 layers or whatever. You know, we don't know
never
what
know.
your regimen is, but you know, preparation is everything. And actually, the more prepared your skin is, a lot of times the less layers you can do because it's a little more
Yeah,
irritating. You got
yeah.
less dead skin. Your peel's penetrating better. A lot of times you don't need, 5, 6 layers because you're prepped properly.
all right, oh, this one comes all the way from Austria.
Hey?
Effie from Austria has Fitzpatrick of 5. She has oily skin. The area around my mouth and around my eyes are significantly lighter after using pigment disruptors, azelaic acid and hydroquinone. Is there something I can do about it? I've had my first TCA 13 peeling 2 weeks ago.
Well, I mean, I don't know what that product is. Sometimes those hydroquinones can come like 6 to 12%.
Right,
So
right.
I don't know what you were using, if that has, destroyed the melanin in the skin, or if it's just uneven because you were only applying it on these certain areas.
Right,
I was trying to think about this. I would definitely switch to something maybe a little milder, like our Fade Bright. I mean, it does have azelaic, but it does not have hydroquinone.
right.
It has alpha-arbutin instead, which is a derivative, and it's just a safer product. I would try that. I would probably not put it on those areas that
I was
are
just
lighter.
thinking that. I was
Yeah.
just thinking like she should probably avoid those areas and then just put it on the rest of her
Yeah,
face.
and then make sure you put your SPF 50 on every day before you go outside to protect your skin,
Yes.
and see how that evens out.
For sure. Yeah.
Not knowing what was in that product and why your skin reacted that way, or
And we don't know how long ago it's been. Sometimes, that color will come back.
and on the flip side, what if the darker areas are, what if those lighter areas are the natural skin color,
Oh.
and the darker just hasn't removed enough and
Right.
evened out yet? Like, not quite sure which it could
Right,
be.
yeah, because if she was just using it on those areas before, I get it.
Yeah, kind of like look at areas that never ever see the sun to see what your natural skin color is.
Very true.
Like look at breasts, under your arms, your thighs, your butt, things like that aren't generally in the sun to see what your natural skin tone is, because that's what you're going to achieve using the lighteners.
All right, next one comes from Yuba City, California, Swati Sharma. When can I start using prescription Retin-A after a chemical peel?
Well, once your skin is all done flaking, so probably between 7 and 10 days after you've applied it, and it's feeling normal again. You
Yes.
know, we don't want you to be sensitive. We don't want you to be, red or anything like that. Once your skin just feels absolutely normal again, then go ahead and start using your products again. If for some reason it burns or is causing irritation, just wash it off and wait a couple more days to start using it again. Everybody obviously is going to handle a peel differently. Their sensitivity levels are different. So
For sure.
just when you're feeling good when you apply it, that's when it's okay for you.
All right. Elena has combination skin. She's from the UK, Fitzpatrick of 3. She said, can one use the cross technique, 30% TCA, for static frown lines, which is mild and not yet into a wrinkle fold, about 1 centimeter long? For example, do random applications at various points of the length of the wrinkle and not a complete 1 centimeter line. Let me read that again. For example, do random application at various points of the length of the wrinkle and not.
I don't think it matters if you're going to do the whole line or
Yeah, I
not.
think she's saying, like, am I supposed to be very precise or?
You know, a lot of people do this. Okay, so number 1, cross is the chemical reconstruction of skin scars. So if it's not a scar, it's not technically the cross what you're doing. What you're doing is you're either applying a stronger percentage or preferably more layers of a lighter percentage to an area that you want to treat with a deeper peel.
Yeah.
So let's say, you did 3 layers of 13 on your face and you want to go over it just in those lines, 1 or 2 more layers. Okay, well, they're obviously going to get a deeper peel there. So your thought is to take this and the 30 and just apply it in the lines of the wrinkles. I mean, yeah, you could do that. Make sure that there's not an excessive amount here. And what was her Fitzpatrick? Do we
3.
know? 3, yeah,
And
you're
she
right at that
does
borderline.
say she regularly does TCA Dream Peel, TCA plus Dream Peel, but that wrinkle needs separate attention.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do that. I want to say
Yeah.
one in the group, I think it was Colleen. I want to say she did that, and she had some really good before and after photos in the Platinum Skincare Guru group on Facebook, if you're social on Facebook, But I know she did some, and I
Yeah.
want to say she did use the 30, kind of the same thing. She just followed inside the lines
Yeah.
and did that extra on there, and that worked really well for her.
Right.
And
Right.
still, obviously, when you do a peel, no matter what, you're not going to see instant results. It's going to take 90 days or so for all that collagen deep in the dermis to work its way up to the surface. So don't think you're going to do a peel and these lines are going to go away.
And 1
you'll do
centimeter,
stuff
that's
monthly.
so tiny to me.
It does seem tiny.
Really?
Really teeny weeny. She's, make sure, okay, when you're trying to, does she use like Retin-A or?
She does use Dream Peel, so that's a vitamin A.
Well, okay, so you're doing that, but make sure like daily use like our Fusion A,
Yeah.
something like that, because this is also stimulating collagen and helping to soften those lines.
We're so hard on ourselves as individuals, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you look in the mirror, we want you to see beautiful.
Yeah,
We really
stand
do.
back.
We really do.
It's
Don't-
almost better when
I
you're like in
know.
your 50s and like the mirror's
Yeah.
here and you can't see it all looks nice.
I know, but we're
Smooth.
all guilty of that. Like you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, like you'll focus on one certain thing on your face.
Yeah.
And we'll have clients come in here sometimes and sometimes we have to ask them specifically because we look at
I
them
don't
and
know what they're talking
we don't
about.
see it as like they're seeing
It's probably
it.
because they've got a 30-time magnification at home, and then they're looking, I have
yes,
this line
yeah,
here. Oh my
honestly.
gosh, don't we all? I mean,
Yeah.
if you didn't, that means your face doesn't move.
Right. Okay, Laura from Arizona, Fitzpatrick 2. She says, good afternoon, ladies. In June, I plan to replenish my supply of products and also add some new ones, such as B Complex and GHKCU. I think that's the 7%.
This one.
Which of these products would I use first in my nighttime routine, and would I use the GHKCU every night? I also tend to have dry skin. Do both of these products help with that?
Well, neither of these are extremely moisturizing. The GHK is not moisturizing at all. And look, I mean, just so you see how the color changes in copper, like this used to be a bright, bright blue,
Yeah.
and now it's like black, but it's still perfect.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still perfect. Just so you know that. That's just an interesting factor. Like this too will turn very, very dark.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've
Very
spoken to
dark.
their people over there at Skin Biology, and they said they've tested things, and 5 years after,
Yes.
it still has active copper.
Absolutely. So yeah, don't worry about it if it's like bright blue or dark. But yeah, I would put this on first. This is just water-based. There's no hydration at all in this. And you can use it every single night.
Yeah.
Absolutely you can. Unless for some reason you're experiencing irritation. And now like this one is meant to be diluted into another product. So, you can add this into like Fusion, add a drop or two when you're putting your Fusion on, or any other
That's how I like to do it.
other serum. Yeah, it's easier.
I like to do a pump and drop. Or a
Yeah,
drop.
because this does have a good dropper,
Yeah,
so
it
you're
really
not going to
does.
like accidentally pour too much out.
No.
You can do like a drop or two. Can I tell you exactly how much you're getting? What strength? No, not really when you do that,
Right.
but probably one of the stronger options.
Yeah, I'm
with
thinking
the
so.
dilution. But yeah,
That's why we do it that way.
I won't lie. I put it on straight. It's not irritating in any way. And then vitamin B complex, this isn't exceptionally moisturizing because this is meant for like problem skin, acne prone skin. So this
Right.
is a very light moisturizer. If
about
you want a higher moisturizer,
I don't think we have Dermasnap.
oh,
up
we
here.
might not have Dermasnap up here. But Dermasnap is a super one. That's our most moisturizing cream. And that actually has some emu oil in it, which is another thing that you could add a couple drops of. Or nanohyaluronic, a couple
Absolutely.
drops of. Those are super moisturizing. So those are the 3 things to put on to hydrate. This is for problem skin, the B complex, or pigmentation.
Okay, so Fran is from Washington, Fitzpatrick of 2. I have vitiligo and I am concerned about using products that could make it worse. I have a lighter skin tone, so it isn't that visible unless I don't use enough sunscreen protection.
Right. So
Is there anything she should avoid from our line?
that one I know you have to be careful with vitiligo because it can get worse.
Okay.
Now, I would venture to think in my head that, a stronger chemical peel or something like that, could that potentially speed it up? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, because that's just going to grow naturally on its own, and that's when like the melanocytes, they just don't function anymore.
Right.
It cannot produce any more melanin. So you don't want to help that,
Right. Right.
I would think the best kinds of things to use are like regenerative healing. I would use like copper and, regenerate.
Right.
Things like that. I would think a retinoid would still be okay because it's just more, I don't want to say gentle, but it's not as strong as an acid and
Right.
stimulating tissue regeneration, or, essential effects that has the bakuchiol.
Oh,
that
yeah.
could be another option for you. I mean, I wouldn't be too aggressive.
Yeah, I think this could be a good option, yeah.
Yeah. So, things like that. If I would say if you want to do one peel, you probably could do a milder one, maybe
Right.
a Mandelic or something, see how that goes. I would take, before pictures, after pictures, talk to your physician.
Yeah,
because,
check with
whoever
them.
diagnosed you, see what they have to say. Like, I don't want to necessarily tell you one thing and your doctor tells you another.
Oh, yeah, follow their guidance always. Yes, for sure. All right, so Erika is from California. She's 54. She says, what's your best product for building collagen and reducing the start of a crepey neck?
Ooh, let's see. So for crepey necks, we definitely want to use things like Fusion. We have the 7% TCA is really, really good for stimulating collagen and elastin.
I always say crepey skin escape.
Crepey Skin Escape. I don't think we
have
have that one up here either.
No.
Gosh darn it, somebody make a list.
It's a copper peptide.
Yeah, copper, or like one of the GH
Yeah.
or GHKs.
But it's literally for
With a big
crepey
jar.
skin, and it's okay to use like the lower jaw down.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Regenerates good. There's so many things. And
Citrus stem cell. Citrus
Citrus stem cell.
is really good for elasticity.
Yeah, and there's a couple, we have the Dr. Platinum Potion line. And I actually, do I have one
What's
up
all
here?
the way
I
at the
think
end?
that's this one. Where you can add, we have Synake, SynTC, Matrixyl Synth 6, apple stem, citrus stem, and then the epidermal growth factor. I'm actually looking at like 3 others to add.
Ooh, goody.
I was thinking of, and there, 2 of them are specifically for like neck and jaw.
I like it.
But I'm not sure if I want to do them separate or if I want to maybe mix those 2 together
To
into like a
create
neck
this-
and jowl one.
I like the sound of
I'm
that.
not 100%.
I like that.
But
We do get a lot of emails and a lot of, I mean, we both know you're 50,
almost 52.
and I'm going to be 53.
3. Old lady.
I know, right? And she's 54. So, like, when you get in your 50s,
We know.
These are things that,
It's happening.
yes. So we're right there with you, and we will create these products.
Yeah. But I am almost positive. I have the active sitting on my desk right this moment.
Awesome.
That
Let's test 'em out.
I'm literally thinking of adding in.
Yeah.
They look good.
Stay tuned. Okay, so KC is from Kentucky, and she says, I've slowly worked up to 5 layers of TCA 20. How can I take the next step?
That's a lot of layers. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad you worked up to that.
Yeah, that's good.
And then keep in mind, I just always want to mention this when we're talking about layers, depending on how light or how dry or how wet your gauze is really
Yes,
affects that
yes,
layer.
yes,
Like you could
yes.
have 5 really light dry layers, which would be, probably equivalent to maybe 2 or 3 layers.
Correct.
Or you can have, 5 really wet
Yeah,
layers, which would
yeah.
be like putting 8 layers on. So let's just make sure that when our layers, you're getting your gauze wet, then you're either like shaking it off or patting it with your fingertips so it's not dripping, because we want it to be wet but not dripping down your face, right?
And then
So
wait that 5 full minutes, too.
don't rush it.
Don't rush it. Yeah.
Do not rush it.
Give
I
it
mean,
time.
it should be dry in your face. It could be maybe sticky, but it should be dry, and you should see if there's any kind of frosting. So if you've made it to 5 layers, okay, you can keep adding layers. There's no rule, even though we say, oh, go to the next percentage. I mean, if you've run out of your solution and you're done on your, 6th bottle or whatever, and you're putting 5 layers, yeah, then go ahead and move up to the next percent. But if you still have more, I would just add another layer.
Yeah.
You can do 6 layers, 7 layers, whatever you want.
Or
It's just, or
her dream peel.
that's right. That's right. You can add the dream peel on top. You got a
Right.
couple other options.
Sure.
Or you can do a beginning layer of Jesner,
There you go.
right? You would always start with the Jesner. So this is a way to make it stronger. And of course, this is a way to make it stronger.
Yes.
Another layer.
Yes.
And then after all that is exhausted, because I hate to say, yeah, put TCA 30 on.
Well, she could
But you
dilute
can.
the 30 down to a 25.
Yes, you could.
She could, and bump it up a little bit because
would be a good place
the
to go to.
30 is formulated for dilution purposes. So
That's correct. It
She
has a
could do
little
that. Mm-hmm.
different base than the others. It doesn't have the alcohol in it. It's just water. It's a little different, just so you can easily dilute it. So is the 70 glycolic.
Yeah,
They don't
so-
have the alcohol. That's why they may feel different when you put it on. You're like,
Right.
it's not stinging. Something's wrong. No.
it's just formulated for dilution.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good spot. Yeah, 25. Because I'm like, I hate to say, yeah, go to the 30. That just like, someone's going to see this,
Yes.
this only video and go,
Yes.
oh, I should use the 30? No.
She has worked her way up to 5 layers of 20. Let's
Yes.
make that disclaimer
Long
known.
time. Many, 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 many peels.
Okay, so Bonita is from California. She says, from the scrubs to the acids, I'm wondering if anybody has had their face break out in tiny little white pimples. I am 61 years old and I do not or have not had any issues with clogged pores, unfortunately. I stopped using all products because it was terribly uncomfortable. My face feels like sandpaper.
Okay, so I looked her up, and she had purchased the Lactic 50 peel, I think it was in January of this year.
Okay.
And then nano hyaluronic. And she did have some other orders, but they were way into last year. So, so what I'm guessing is either A, maybe, her skin didn't like the lactic acid,
Could be.
or B, if your skin is feeling like sandpaper, then it hasn't peeled yet. And I
Yeah.
know lactic doesn't generally cause a lot of visible peeling, but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Depending on how much dead skin you have there,
And if
you
you've
could see
never
it.
done a peel or something, you might see some peeling for sure.
Yeah, so your skin might have just needed to peel. Mm-hmm. That happens. So when you're washing your face, especially with lactic, when you're getting your cleanser, use a washcloth. You can gently
Right.
buff your face a little bit to help get some of that dead skin off, especially if you're just feeling dry like sandpaper like that.
I think she's a good candidate for the new lactic foaming cleanser when it comes out as well.
Yes, like you
know?
need some little everyday exfoliation.
Yeah, something milder where she can, I
For
think so.
sure. Maybe add some Fusion A into there 2 to 3 times a week to help get that skin turning over more quickly. Oh, and she did say like the little white bumps. Now, a lot of times that's just irritation.
Yeah, right.
It's not always like pimples.
Right.
It would
I
have to
hear
be
that
filled with pus if it
glycolic
was a
more than
pimple.
lactic. However, it could happen.
It absolutely can. You know, and maybe just lactic isn't the great acid for you.
Right.
In which
So true.
case, I would suggest mandelic. You know, I love mandelic.
me
Mandelic
too.
40 would be super.
favorites.
You get a little bit more dryness / flaking, but it's actually feels a little bit better. It definitely feels more comfortable than putting a lactic peel on.
Yeah. The molecule's bigger, so it's not
Yep.
as irritating. And
Yeah, I have them working on I saw a great diagram on the internet the other day, and they were kind of showing the molecular size of the different acids, and it inspired me. Well, it inspired me to inspire the art people to like do a diagram, let's say,
Yeah.
of like the skin and the layers, and I thought that we could like show like how big the molecule can penetrate into the skin and how deep it
fun.
can go. I thought that would be like cute, a visual representation, so you could see how deep they go, because you would be surprised at like how big, the molecular size of TCA is. It's bigger
Right.
than a lot of these.
Yeah.
But that gives such a good peel. Why?
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Right? Interesting. Okay, Carol is from California, Fitzpatrick of 3. She said, I just bought a Dermapen. Can I use this the same month that I do a TCA 20 peel plus Dream Peel? If not, how should I incorporate this into my skincare regimen?
I would just alternate months,
Yeah.
1 month do your TCA and Dream Peel, 1 month do your Dermapen, right? Was it? Yeah, that's great. And you know
Dermapen.
what? Pens are better than those rollers.
Yeah.
The rollers, they have like the needles and you're rolling it across your skin, so it's like coming out and tearing the skin a little bit. You don't want to do that. The
Yeah.
pens, they're stamping it straight in. So that is actually better for your
Yeah.
skin. So, needling's great.
Okay.
But definitely keep them apart. Either alternate the months or do a series of peels and then a series of needling.
That
Whatever
makes
works
sense.
for you.
Okay, so Trisha's from Pennsylvania, Fitzpatrick 3. I'm going to have a microdermabrasion treatment. When would be the best time to do my peel? So I'm
Well-
assuming it's a professional treatment if she's saying that.
Yeah, so maybe they're going to be a little bit more aggressive. But you definitely want to wait like a good month.
Yeah.
I would say you
And
really
we
want
don't
to
know what
alternate
type
these.
of peel either, so.
Right? Is this a mandelic peel and it's really mild, or is it a TCA and Jesner combo peel? Definitely try to do a big treatment on your skin like once a month, and then just kind of go with that. Whatever it is, your choice. But don't try to do more than one big thing a month.
Sounds good. All right. Jackie is from Florida. She says, I do a TCA peel. Can I do a TCA peel if I have just finished using
Fluorosil.
Is it
Fluorosil?
Fluorosil?
I don't
There
know
you
how to
go.
pronounce
On
it
my
100%.
hands.
But it's like a chemo treatment for
yeah.
treating
Right?
like precancerous lesions.
and it certainly has exfoliating properties.
Most definitely
Yes.
it does, because yes, we know someone that used that.
Yes, we do.
It takes everything off.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of it, because when it's precancerous and it
Right.
comes off, well, then you've stopped it. It hasn't progressed into cancer.
Right.
So you've removed it, so it's a good thing. But if you're doing that on one part of your body, can you do a peel on another part of your body? I am not 100% on that. I would double check with your doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
Because maybe not. And I did do a little bit of research looking at that. And it can cause sensitivity and rashes and irritation and other things in the body when you're using it.
Right,
So I would always just,
right.
and I know she said that she was finished using it, but I would still ask your doctor, be like, okay,
Double check.
how many weeks before I can go get don't tell them you're doing a chemical peel, just how many weeks before I can go get a chemical peel done,
Okay.
because then that's actually good for preventing things too,
For sure.
and retinoids.
Okay, so Kim is from New York. She says, what body peels do you use for actinic keratosis?
Same exact thing.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have the prescription for that treatment.
Right.
So another thing that you can use is TCA.
Mm-hmm.
Never in a million years do I want to say it is a cancer treatment, but when it's precancerous,
Correct.
you have something like that is actually listed as a treatment for that. You can use it to help remove it. They suggest to just apply it to the lesions that you have. So you would usually use a little bit higher percentage, maybe like a 20, and just put it on the lesions themselves. If you want to do, because you're talking about like a body peel, maybe it's just your arms or legs, you could probably just do your whole arm.
Right.
Depending on your skin color, I'm going to assume it's probably very light if we're dealing with like a pre-cancer thing, because most people with darker skin, they're a little bit more protected from the cancers. Not 100%, but I would say, yeah, like a TCA 20 would be a good start.
All right, Monica is from Maryland, Fitzpatrick of 4. I have two if possible to...
I have two. Oh, she's got two questions.
Oh,
and
I
that
have
was that,
two questions.
Is it possible?
Is it possible to do an earlobe peel? I am pushing late 50s and earlobes are looking a little beat up and wrinkly. If I do a Jesner and TCA, if I do a Jesner and TCA peel, if I don't rinse it off after 5 minutes, can I leave it on for a few hours? Would the Jesner have the same effect, or would the TCA neutralize it? Thank you.
Okay, so sure, you can do your earlobes if you wish. That's not a problem.
Maybe they get a little wrinkly from sleeping on that side, or, you know.
Who knows? I mean, it's just skin, same thing.
Yeah.
It's attached to your face.
Yeah.
We can peel pretty much any part of our body that doesn't have a mucus membrane that keeps it moist. Okay. Other than that, you know, if you're doing a Jesner, anything, Jesner by itself, Jesner plus TCA, we want Jesner to stay on for 4 hours.
Yeah.
As long as you can. Usually, you know, that stinging is done in like 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And it feels like nothing when it's staying on. So
Yes.
it's not generally a
Yeah.
problem. Whether TCA is on there with it, no, it's not going to neutralize TCA. TCA is going to neutralize all on its own
Yes.
in the same 5-minute time frame. So yeah, leave them all on. It's no problem at all. You could go to sleep with them on, really. We just like to rinse TCA off because it's all done
Right.
in 5 minutes. Even if you have some stinging, it's still all
Yeah.
done doing what it's going to do. So you just rinse that off with some ice cold water to soothe yourself, and then put your treatments on.
Yeah, for
You know,
comfort, for comfort reasons, the ice
yeah,
water
comfort.
feels amazing.
And then right after that peel, right after you rinse a peel like that, that's when you can put things like luminosity or epidermal growth factor, copper. You can put a good treatment on there. It's gonna soak right into your skin. It's just like the best time.
Okay, Lisa from California, Fitzpatrick 3. How can I get a deeper peel? Do I use more layers of Jesner and 13 TCA, or Jesner plus 1 layer of TCA 20?
Do I use more layers of Jesner in 13?
I would do
Or
more
Jesner
layers
and
of a
1 layer
lesser
of
percent. Like if she's... I think-
Yeah. I mean, yeah, do...
You could
well,
do
whenever
2
I'm-
Jesner, 2 13.
And think about it too, like what are you treating? Okay, if you're treating hyperpigmentation, then add more layers of Jesner, because that's a really good
Right.
treatment.
Right.
You know, like bump it up to 3 layers and then, you know, 1 or 2 layers of 13. And, you know, as to, you know, we're saying like 5 layers. And they're like, well, if I got 2 of these and 3 of these, you know, can I add another one? I mean, yeah, you can continue adding more layers. You certainly can. You don't have to always bump up to the next percentage.
Or add the Dream Peel as your finisher.
That's another one.
That's a
where you're
booster.
not even adding more acid.
Yeah.
You just
And
add
you will get more
that
results.
vitamin
Yeah,
A
for sure.
topper, and that makes things peel much more aggressively. Like Jesner plus TCA plus Dream Peel, that's an amazing peel. That's for the people that are always looking for like the VI peel comparison.
Right. Yes.
Because VI peel has a little bit of TCA, it has a little bit of, resorcinol, kind of like Jesner. It has like the
lactic.
acids for Jesner in it.
Yeah.
But all at like really low percentages, maybe like between 7 and
Right.
8%, something like that. So it's very, very similar to doing a Jesner plus a TCA. And then they have like a vitamin A cream, I believe it is, that you put on for like a day or 2, or a wipe or something like that. Ours, if you were to put ours on, let's say 1 layer, and that, I would say it's very, very close to what the VI peel is what they put their one bottle on. And if you were to do, let's say like 2 layers, 1 layer, you are like surpassing that. So that's actually like a step up.
Okay, Shavonne George has dry skin from New York, Fitzpatrick of 6. What if I see no improvement on my dark areas after using Fade Bright for 3 weeks?
Well, that's a little shy of time of what is generally required to really start seeing changes.
Right.
You know, we think, oh, we should see something really, really quickly. Not necessarily. The only time you see something really, really quickly, if it is just like a brand new spot,
Right.
it's on these outer layers, then yes, you can potentially see things faster. But most people, they already have spots that they've had for, let's say, years. That's really deep in the skin. That takes time to turn over and come up and out. And number one, always take a picture. Take a before picture before you do a peel or you know, a fading treatment, whatever you're doing, acne treatment, starting any kind of regimen or treatment where you want to see changes, take a picture before you start, and then take a picture every month so you can put those photos side by side. Don't ever think that you're going to remember what those little dots or acne or those lines.
Yes.
You think you will remember because you just think you can't forget this, but when you're putting 2 pictures side by
Yes.
side, that's when you see the difference. And when you're looking at everybody else's pictures, that's exactly what that is. They're taking pictures and they
Yes.
probably didn't even realize until they pulled out that picture and
Yes.
compared it, went, oh my gosh, it has changed immensely.
A lot of times, Facebook memories will get a lot of
Yes.
customers who'll email and go, oh my goodness, my Facebook memory popped up and I see this and now this is a picture from today and look at the before and after.
Yeah, there's one of them on
Yeah.
our transformation
It's fun.
page. And then she says that, I forget the name, but she has one and she has a lot of pigmentation on
Yeah.
there, but she looks cute. You know, it's just like, oh, like she had a lot of sun or whatever. It's like a cute summer look. And then she has like her picture after doing all the peels, and she was like, I didn't even
Wow.
realize I
That's
had so much
fun.
sun damage until, like, and she's got nothing now. It's like
Wow.
all clear and just such a huge change. And sometimes you just don't realize till you
No.
look back.
Exactly. That's cool.
But hey, I think that was it, or do we
Okay,
have anything
yeah,
else?
Let's see here. We have a couple of comments. Somebody says flawless is excellent.
Yes, it is. It's like one of my, well, it is my favorite. It's the one I use every day.
And then Laura says type. I think she meant typo. I mean, what about Zoom Tan?
Zoom Tan.
I'm not
Well, if
familiar.
that's a brand, I haven't heard of that one.
Myself as well. I don't know.
I have not heard of that one, but Zoom Tan. Does that mean like you're,
Maybe with the selfless tanner.
but she did say
question?
selfless tanner in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can definitely use those if you've got your pre-exfoliated skin and you put, you know, your sunless tanner on, it's gonna be a beautiful application.
All
Here's
right.
one.
Yes, you said I did a Jesner's peel on May 9th. Would I be able to do a Mandelic peel now?
No.
May 9th. So in about a week.
No, yeah, I would wait till almost June 9th.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
4 weeks.
Yep.
4 weeks, and I watch all your videos, Detox Body, Skin, and Mind. If anybody wants to go and check out her on Instagram.
Cool.
She has been doing her TCA cross journey. So if anybody's interested in looking at cross pictures and things,
Yeah.
she has a lot of those on there.
Perfect.
And she's always doing peels and talking about the different products she uses. That's a great one. I share that on our Instagram page too. Like
Yeah.
I reshare a lot of her things.
I just clicked her. She's beautiful.
And she is also, I have my TCA cross video, and I have her TCA cross video on there too, so that anybody that has like Fitzpatrick 4 and up skin can see what that looks like. Because like, you know, with my skin, I do it, I can't even tell that I did it. But somebody with ethnic skin,
You can tell.
it can be like a darker brown
Yeah,
spot and
right,
for
right.
like 4 days until that comes off. So you really want to know that ahead of time. So we have that listed on our page too.
Cool.
But yay! So
That
I
is
think
it.
that was it. We didn't have a whole ton of questions today. So I think we are all set, and everybody have
Yeah.
a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, it is the holiday weekend.
We will not be here on Monday.
Yes, we will be closed, but we will be getting all the orders out on Tuesday that
Yeah.
come in from today through the end of Monday, or Tuesday morning, I guess.
Yes. So everybody have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.